He the coolest dude. I ain't never seen nobody interview like you so cool, bro. You got so much swag. I just want to tell you, I admire you, man.
I'm just sitting here learning and appreciating the perspective.
You cool, man.
And so, but no, really, I mean, I appreciate you saying that, but it's to just listen to a dad who cares and who's intentional. And so many of us have gone through things in our lives, and it's a choice how we allow those things to manifest as we're adults.
Yeah, because when women have children, motherhood is non-optional.
They want you to repeat it.
I was saying, like, once that baby gets here, you don't get to say, that ain't mine. Right. Like, so fatherhood can either be a choice or it can be transactional. And I've seen too many people damaged by the absence of a father. And I think that what happens is that we think our presence is manifested by materialism. And every child, and even all of y'all who are in here who are adults, they will tell you that they would trade the clothes, the cars in for time. For time. And so that's what I gave them. Like, you know who their father is. What am I going to buy them? I'm doing all right, but I ain't doing that all right. And so the greatest lesson for all men to know is, where are you outgunned? Because you don't show up for a gunfight with a knife. But I found out where my bullets work. And I shot in those areas. And that's how we became effective.
Come on, Pastor, with the analogies. Yes. Okay, so what I'd love to know is, what have you each learned about yourself through blending your families?
Through blending.
Where did you have to grow, maybe?
I think I had to grow in patience. I had to grow in kind of stepping back out of a situation and becoming self-aware of what the need was. And like he said, even in my case where it wasn't received, it wasn't being received, I was also torn, because I'm like, well, I'm just here. You know, let me know when you need me, because I don't want to. It doesn't feel good to feel rejected, to you know, receive that rejection, when it's almost like, I don't think that I was doing cartwheels or anything. It was just like, I just wanted to be present, and to not be seen or be rejected in that space was so hurtful. But then I don't want to complain, you know, I don't want to complain to him because it's nothing he could do. So it was just more so, I really had to, he kept telling me, he was like, just pray about it. And I would just keep praying about it. And I just got this peace about it. Like, listen, I'm here. Maybe it's not going to happen until she's 15. Who knows? But I'm here when it does. And I'm okay in between. As he said last night, surviving the middle. I'm surviving the middle.
Yeah.
What did I learn about myself blending the family? You know, I didn't have the difficulty that she had in the blend. So I was enjoying it while she was learning. we was out in the basketball court shooting, and she was in there crying about being accepted, and I'm out here shooting, you know what I mean? Like, baby, I can't help you, I accept you, so you want her attention to mine, you got mine. Like, but see, I was raised different, because my mama here, my mama right there, y'all. Stand up, mama. That's my mama. So Shaunie and I grew up very, very, very different, okay? And so what I call marriage is the collision of histories. That's why it's so difficult.
That's a word.
And I grew up where children didn't get choices. She grew up where children got to talk it out at the table with their parents. So she over here talking about she won't do this. I'm like, make her then. You know, so it was this. What you mean she don't want to? Grab her by her head and pull her where we going, you know. Respectfully, I mean.
Respectfully.
Oh, we on the internet. I'm just joking. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Seriously.
That's true. That's so true.
I'm like, what are we discussing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you gotta go somewhere and you're asking her, do she want to go, you out of line.
Oh.
If you going, she going. Whether she like it or not. Now, if I got to come and tell, oh, Lord.
Jeez.
Woo, Jesus. So what I was saying was, I learned that just because I knew how to do something didn't mean it was the only way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was something about her mom's house that worked too, and I had to be influenced by her ideology and not be so dogmatic about mine.
That's a marriage lesson. Not just blending families. That's a marriage lesson for sure.
Yeah, we have very different parenting routes or journeys, you know, and not so. Okay, yes, we were allowed to ask questions. So my father was one of those dads where if there were any issues, it was sit down at the table and we're gonna talk about it. At the end of the day.
I think
Listen,
she turned out okay. I think
he's
you
like,
turned
wait,
out all right.
You got to talk about it? I'm like, well, yeah. Now, at the end of the day, what he said goes. You know what I mean? Like, his philosophy was like, don't leave a room, don't leave a table without something making sense. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't understand.
My mom was like, be confused.
Right.
Be completely confused.
Yeah, no. That was not my house. That was not my story. So we got to understand, even if we didn't like it. Mm-hmm. And even if there was a punishment, even if it was whatever it was, you're gonna understand why this is happening. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of household I had. But at the end of the day, my kids know I didn't play. Like, you're not gonna embarrass me. You're not gonna show out. It's no tantrums. It's no talking back. It's no disrespect. But we can have a conversation. We can communicate. So even to this day, my kids and I have a great relationship. And I got a great 5. And that's not because they belong to me. They really are some great kids that just. They're able to communicate. That don't mean they're perfect. That doesn't mean they make the best decisions all the time. Yeah. But we have an open line of communication where we can talk to each other. They're not going to always like what I have to say, you know, but I'm going to be honest, transparent, and that's how I parent. So even in his situation, what he's talking about is like, it was literally a couple weeks ago. I said, I got to make a run, and I went and asked Caitlin. I said, hey, Caitlin, I got to go to the mall. You want to go? And I knew she was probably going to say no, but she was like, no, I'll stay. So I was not going to leave her by herself. Right. So I was like, cool, I just won't go. And let me tell you why. So, babe. Let me explain why. It's because we don't have the best relationship that I decided. Now, if it was one of my kids, I was like, I don't care, get in the car, let's go. Right. But because we already don't have the best relationship, I'm just trying to make it easier, right? I'm trying to ease the tension.
Hold on.
Oh, Lord.
See, I can't tell you how many times I've asked her children, do you want to go with me? And they said no. But it ain't the rejection of me because you don't want to go with me. It's because everybody kid in here really want to stay in their room and don't want to go with us, right? But she's 12.
But, okay.
And where we live, she ain't familiar with the folks across the street, so it ain't like she can go across the street and tell her, so you're leaving. Now, we talked about this before I left. She told me the day before I left that she had somewhere to go, and I said, do you want her to take her with me, or leave her? Okay, I left her. She asked that child, did she want to go, and then called me and told me that she said no.
No, that's why we were at home. I wanted you to know we were home.
And do you
not
know what
going.
I told her?
We do.
If I got to turn around and come back home, we all going together.
Yes.
She doesn't have a choice.
Okay, wait, but what I'm hearing, now first off, settle something. Ultimately, did you go or you stayed home?
I went.
And you took her?
I did.
Okay.
But only because he would have come back. Because I was still at home.
Right.
So he's like, what are you still doing at home? I thought you were I was like, well, she didn't really want to
Yeah.
go. It's fine. I'll
Yeah.
go tomorrow. No big deal. And
Stressing
he
me
was
out,
doing
bro.
that.
She was like, do not come back.
That stressed him out. So I
Yes.
was like, Caitlin, let's just go. Let's just go.
Yes.
I promise I'll be quick. And and we went. It was fine. But I didn't want to force her.
Yeah, what I'm
know?
hearing is different styles,
Yeah.
but you were thoughtful about the fact that in that, she's 12, we
She's
hear
12, but
y'all.
still,
But in that moment, you didn't want to rock the boat in your way.
Any more than it's already rocking. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like,
okay.
you pick your battles. So it was like, or Aaron,
Yes.
stay at home. It was not going to disrupt
Yeah.
anything.
It had to be, you called me.
Because you wanted to know why I was still home.
So, how did you ultimately wind up at the mall then?
What'd you say?
How did you ultimately wind up there?
Oh, because he was stressed out. Like, why are you still home?
She didn't want him to come back.
I didn't want him to, I didn't want to make it a deal, right? Because then he was going to come home and ask her, well, you should have just gone. So girl, just get in the car, let's go real
I
fast.
did that anyway, though. I still did when I got home.
And all was fine.
Yeah.
All was fine. All was fine.
You all right over there? Yeah.
He's
You all
stressing.
right?
He's
It's
stressing.
trauma from 2 weeks ago?
I literally was at home. I forgot I was here. But I'm back.
He's back.
I'm here.
You back? Okay.